Hey folks, it's Pontiac Nationals weekend here in Central Ohio, and I got good news and bad news. Bad news is we're not going to Pontiac Nationals. I'm up here with Uncle Bob at McVeigh Automotive and Machine, and it's raining. Gray skies are here. It is Central Ohio, ruining our racing fun once again. But I do have good news. And I'll get to that in just a minute. We were hoping to be able to be up there again this year to defend our almost championship from last year. We had a great time. It was a ton of fun. We took the 1970 Le Mans up there. We did a great job. Bob did an incredible job piloting that car. But unfortunately, the weather is just not working out for us, and it just doesn't make sense for us to try to do it. It's looking like rain today, and then thunderstorms and rain tomorrow, and then probably the same thing on Sunday. So it's just not worth the experience to get up there to just, you know, sit around in the rainstorm. So unfortunately, we will not be at Pontiac Nationals this year. I do apologize to those people who were hoping to run into me when I was up there and run into Bob while we were up there and cheer us on while we were racing up there. We'll do it again next year. But I do have a little bit of good news. Because I am up here at Uncle Bob's place, I can give you an update on one of the interesting upgrades that are going on here at the machine shop that is going to be extremely important for the Pontiac projects that we have moving forward. And that is this little sucker right over here that Ryan is working on. This is Uncle Bob's head flow bench. And we have done a little upgrading. By we, I mean I have helped motivate Bob to spend more money. And we have added a digital ability onto this head flow bench so that we can get our head flow done on these Pontiac heads. A lot of people have been curious about what's going on with the Pontiac stuff. And I'll be honest, a large portion of why we've been kind of stalled at this point has been because we needed to get the head flow bench either serviced or upgraded. And in this case, we went ahead and did some upgrading. So now we have a digital way to be able to do our head flow testing. This is the pair of 62 heads. As you can see, Bob's fitting valves and such to these guys. New seats, doing valve job on this stuff. We're going to do supporting on this. But before we did anything beyond where we are right now, we want to be able to set a baseline with what these heads flow as they are right now, and then go do the magic with the grindy thing to be able to retest them on that head flow bench. So that's kind of been what's slowed this whole process down. I know a lot of people have been asking what's going on with the Pontiac projects, and I know Bob loves me bringing that up. But that's the reason why. That's why we've been hanging out, is we've been figuring out what we're going to do with the head flow bench. Now that that stuff has been done, Ryan probably will have this up and running in the next hour to 2 days, so that we can actually start testing some stuff, and we're going to be able to set some baselines on these things and see where they are. So that's what's going on up here. That's what's going on with the Pontiac thing. Is the good news is we're going to have a head flow bench that's going to be able to do our head flow testing. The bad news is we're not going to be at Pontiac Nationals this weekend, so I apologize about that. This is my stock set of heads that are going to go on my 1971 Pontiac 350. Obviously got new valves in it. Also got new seats cut into it as well. Bob's going to go through these here real quick to make sure everything's good to go on those. This is my set of heads that are going to go on the 350 HO. These are the 62 casting heads. We're going to get a little more tricky on this as far as porting goes. And we've also got a lot more complicated or aggressive camshaft setup for that. Go over here to the engine building room. You got two different Pontiac 350s that are sitting here. This is going to be the roller cam setup versus this is the flat tappet, hydraulic flat tappet one, and it is more or less ready to rock and roll. We just need to get everything squared away on the heads, and then we'll drop lifters and everything in there. The cam card for this guy here, show you here. This is the guy that's going to be in the kind of stock rebuild. If you can see that, hopefully. I'm going to leave these guys to do what they do. Bob's got some work he's going to play with on the heads, go test those things, and make sure all of our sealing and everything like that is going good. And I will stay out of his hair while he's doing that. Ryan is on the phone currently with the company that does the digital module for the head flow, so that he can get that all squared away. And hopefully here in the next couple of hours, that's going to be good to go. As usual, in Austin land, I need to go spend some more money. And oddly, today I'm actually not headed to Jegs. Today I'm actually going to be going to Summit because the boys up at Summit actually happen to have a set of shocks that I need. I've been trying to find a set of QA1 shocks, and they're just sold out everywhere. I can't get them anywhere. It's going to be 2 weeks to be able to get them. The ones that I bought that I thought were going to work are actually a little bit too long, so we're going to go with a little bit shorter QA1 set of shocks, and they have them in stock at Summit Racing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in my little Volkswagen, and I'm going to blast myself up to Summit Racing. I'm going to pick up my set of shocks from those guys. Then I'm going to come back around, and I'm going to come back through here. We'll see where these guys are, and hopefully at the end of the day, we'll have some information about the heads, and maybe we can even flow a set of heads, see what they look like. Realistically, they're going to need to be skim cut as well. We'll see where that falls in the process, but ideally we can get these things on the head flow bench. We can figure out what our stock head flow numbers are with just a valve job on them as it sits right now. So I've got my iced tea. We just finished a very tasty lunch in Mount Vernon at the barbecue place, and I'm going to get on the road. So I'm going to head to Summit Racing. It's about an hour, 15 minutes that way. So this is your Eric Weingartner 427 Brodex heads.
Yep, Dragon Slayers.
Dragon Slayers. Those are much shinier and prettier than mine are.
I know.
And probably
I don't understand why we got to
weight.
mess with your junk shit.
I know, right? You don't do much in the world of old school cast iron shit anymore.
Didn't you hear Eric's sign? I don't grind cast iron heads. I'm not Superman.
Yeah.
My boy is what is it? My boy is Superman, or I don't know what he says.
Man, those suckers are serious.
Serious? That's what we are right here. We're fucking serious.
Woo! Those are gonna outflow my Pontiac heads by a long way.
Just a little bit.
By a long way. My goodness. All right. So we are possibly, maybe, ready to test the set of heads here with the newly upgraded flow bench. The technical wizard over here is doing things on the keyboard.
I don't know about wizard. Who the fuck's that?
A beard like you to be a wizard.
I do have a kind of wizard's beard.
What happened?
What we're going to try to do here is we're going to use that set of heads that Eric has already done, because we already have the flow numbers for Eric's on a similar machine, so we can apples to apples comparison the two to make sure that we're where we need to be. Ryan's gone through, we hope, the whole configuration process, spoke with those guys on the phone, and we'll be able to see if we're in the right ball game or if there's something else that needs to be changed. But that way you're starting with a known quantity before we just throw these things at it and see, compare it versus, what random people say on the internet as far as what they're supposed to flow. So this should be a pretty easy way of testing that. So, well, change of plans. I didn't end up getting up to go pick up my shocks, because we just spent the last 4 hours or so calibrating Bob's head flow bench. However, we got her figured out. Took a whole lot of phone calls. Got to call these guys over at Performance Trends, as well as Mr. Eric Weingartner gave us a bunch of pro tips to be able to get this thing dialed in, and I think we're really, really, really close. Fortunately, we have his raw data from his Superflow bench when he flowed these exact heads, so we can kind of use his data to kind of zero in our machine and use it kind of as a calibration tool, and I think we've got ourselves pretty dang close. Realistically speaking, in our world, what I'm not really looking for is a raw number on what that is. What I'm looking for is the percentage change, because what I want to know is, what does this head flow right now, what it does in cast iron stock form with all the ridges and everything on it. Flow it, see what the number is, and then flow it, do all the things that we're going to do, clean it up, port it, that kind of thing, and then flow it again and see what the percentage change is. That's what I want to know more than the actual flow number, because that's going to give you your percentage increase. Realistically speaking, when you're picking up things like, if I pick up 10 or 15%, if it's a 200 CFM head, if I pick up 10%, that's 20 CFM difference. That's a potential of 30 horsepower, maybe more. That's where that really comes into play. So that's why we're trying to make sure we've got this thing all figured out. And there's a lot to it. There's a whole lot to it. It took about 4 different brains to figure that out, but made a lot of progress. Next time, I'm up here, which I don't know when that's going to be. But we will be able to go head flow these things and get that done, as well as head flow my original stock 350 1971 heads. So made a lot of progress. Nothing flashy, nothing interesting to show you guys on camera, but it's been 4 hours of us standing over there doing mathematical things and figuring out how technology works, and not something to show you guys, but important stuff. Well, it is Saturday morning, and in true Central Ohio fashion, the weather is perfect. Weathermen never really know what the heck is going on, I guess. So we're here in Central Ohio. We didn't end up going up to Norwalk, and I apologize again for everybody that I was hoping to see when I was up there. I know there's going to be a bunch of folks that went up to Pontiac Nationals that were hoping to see Bob and hoping to see me, and hoping to see us, repeat our success of last year. It's been a complicated year. Unfortunately, the weather here in Central Ohio has been absolutely crazy and unpredictable. What was supposed to be thunderstorms and rain basically all day today has now become clear skies and no chance of rain until like 8 p.m. So I wish we were up there. I wish we could be doing all that stuff, but it is what it is. The upgrades with the shop, that's a huge thing. The flow bench was in need of some fluid to be able to keep getting accurate readings. The fluid is hilariously expensive. So the other option was to go with this digital add-on to it, which gets away from needing to buy the super expensive fluid, and would also give us some better accuracy on the head flow bench numbers, and it makes it a whole lot easier. We just had to go through all the setup process to get it all done. And now that it's finished, it's going to be a massively value-added piece for Bob's shop. Not just for me and my stuff. Obviously, that's kind of held up our process on the Pontiac stuff, but he's got plenty of other people that he needs to be able to do head flow testing with. Because realistically speaking, that's usually where your bottleneck is going to be, is how much the heads will flow based on how much power you're going to make. So it's something where we're going to be able to test multiple different sets of heads, and it's something we're going to be able to do in the future. I even offered, honestly, to buy a chunk of that upgrade for him, because it's that useful of a thing for us, and it's something that I need him to do. So it's a nice upgrade on the shop, and something I'm looking forward to using. Hi, honey. Yes, honey is still here with us. Hi, baby. Yeah. She's such a good girl. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And she is getting along better with our little sweetie dog. So we've been working on that. For those of you who are interested, yes, this is our little pit bull we saved off of an Amazon truck. Family never showed up, never heard any communication, nobody at all. So we're still taking care of her, and we're doing our best to be able to make her a part of our family here. Still don't know how that's going to work out in the long run. We'll see. But she's become quite a little wonderful puppy dog here in the house. So the good news is we've got work to do. Today we can utilize the Saturday to be able to work on Katrina's charger, when instead of being at the racetrack, we can be turning wrenches and getting work done. So Scott is waiting for us about an hour west or east of here. We're going to go grab some brunch and head off to Scott's place, and we're going to work on her 1973 Dodge Charger project. So that is what we will be doing next, and that will be another video. I just wanted to let you guys know about our Pontiac National situation, what we've been up to, what's going on, and yeah, so that's it. No flowery excuses, just we thought the weather was going to be crap. We got a lot of other things going on, a lot of irons in the fire. We made the call late on Thursday night, and maybe they ended up being the wrong one. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for the time on the videos. Thanks for watching all this stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying the projects that we're working forward. Hopefully this charger project's moving forward real quickly here in the next couple of moves, and we should be able to fire this thing up. Today I think we're finishing off suspension, getting fuel system stuff done, and then we just got to do wiring up the ignition and things, and then we'll see what happens. So next thing is going to be head out to Scott's. We're going to start working on her 1973 Dodge Charger, and Katrina will be in that video too, so you have something more attractive to look at than me and my big bearded face. See you in the next one, guys. Take care.